If any of you have caught our show on the internet,
that is the two Angry Buds, whose delightful and informative diatribes have been popping up on the Forward Radio website for your listening pleasure.
Oh, delightful diatribe. I'm afraid delightful would never describe a diatribe, but I could be wrong.
Then you may already be aware that we're here to ask you for your financial support for the WFMP radio project.
Yes, listen, let me begin by apologizing. It feels kind of impertinent of us to ask you to support our low-power FM radio project in Louisville, Kentucky, when we're not even on the air.
You forgot the keyword, Mel, yet. We're not yet on the air, but we will be. The station is definitely coming. In fact, our studio is already set up and operational. So this is kind of like asking folks to invest in a racehorse that's still just a little foal.
Indeed, and like that racehorse that Vic mentioned, we know from looking at its pedigree, or is it lineage, that it's going to be a winner, possibly even a triple crowner. And so it is with the Forward Radio project here in Louisville.
Right, Forward Radio is sure to be another American Pharaoh for all you racing fans out there. We've certainly believed in it from the start, along with all the other members of our working group. We have been producing programming for Forward Radio from the beginning, so there are now some 19 episodes of our show, Two Angry Buds, available on the station's website. While doing the show has obviously been a pleasure for us, I'm not sure it's always as pleasurable for our listeners, since we're usually bringing some bad news. But anyway, I'm Vic, and this is Mel.
Nice change up, Vic. And hello, y'all, from the Bluegrass State,
where our grass may be blue, but our state politics are most definitely red.
And that's just an example of why you should support our low-power FM radio station, to help us get a few new voices out there in our community and around the world. New voices from segments of our population who are never represented in the mainstream media.
You know, media today is kind of like Hollywood shows. They only bring us stories about the mostly young, mostly white, mostly male experience.
Yes,
I mean,
true.
Friends, still running on many stations, was a fun TV show, but where were the real New Yorkers in that group?
Not in any of their fairy tale apartments, that's for sure.
So to provide an alternative to that sort of mindless media landscape, we started building this community radio station about 3 years ago. In 2013, we applied to the FCC for a radio broadcasting license, and guess what? We've got it.
Yay.
As long as we can get WFMP on the air by next spring.
Which we will do if we can raise enough cash to pay the cost of buying and setting up our transmitter, mounting our antenna, and flipping the switch to start broadcasting.
We've done well. We've raised about $7,000, but we need another $10,000 before the end of this year to buy our remaining equipment and get on the air.
Right now, fundraising is of the essence. If we don't raise enough money to get our station ready to broadcast, we will lose our chance at obtaining that all-important radio license.
And if we lose the opportunity to create our LPFF station, you can bet that one of those media giants,
Comcast, Time Warner, Disney, etc.,
will jump at the chance to add yet another station to their roster.
So if you like the idea of bringing a community radio station on the air, bringing local voices to the airwaves,
or if you've already enjoyed listening to the Two Angry Buds rant about the world's woes,
we'd sure appreciate your financial support, which you can do right here, right now on this fundraising project.